I've had moments where, like reading the other day, I'm in complete silence after the baby.
Yeah.
He went to sleep.
Where were you? Toilet. He was sitting on the toilet. He was sitting there like every father. Just like, I'll be out in a second.
Yeah,
like 45 minutes later, the only chance you get. It's been a while.
You got to be diligent about
been a
these things.
while,
We didn't even know
like-
if it was recording.
It's been a while. Welcome back, Atem.
I like that cool.
Man, I can see myself. So now I can actually, we've got some new technology.
We can relax.
We just need to.
You can see you. You can see
That's
me.
it. Save up some money. Talk to each other while we look at ourselves.
It's been a while.
Look into the camera.
It's been a while, bro.
It's been a long time.
How have you been?
What's been going on, Atem? What caught your interest? Well, it's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
To all the amazing mothers out there.
Thanks for the reminder.
That's it.
Because I do have to get a gift.
On the way home.
Well, I got one on the way here.
But you have to get one on the way home because you are now a father.
I am now a father.
Oh. I don't have the sound effects, but I wish I did.
That is my excuse for the hold up.
That's it.
Life has been going on.
And I wanted to leave you alone.
Yes.
Right or wrong, I felt that it's only the right thing to do, to leave you alone. And
You knew when the baby was born.
Yep.
Exactly at the minute. Well,
Yep.
It was at the minute.
Yeah.
You were there the whole way. You just, in terms of this and what we have going on with the podcast, you let me.
Yeah, because I think that you got to sink into it. There's things to work out. A baby comes, you tell the story, a baby comes into your life, you think you got everything on lock, and then.
It's a whole new world.
Yeah.
Like, people have asked, hey, what is it like? You have a son now. Like, tell me how does that feel? What is
Future NBA son.
That's the go-to.
Dibs. Just letting everyone know.
We gotta go. He has to come to the best coach.
From age 2.
He's already got a little ball.
That's it.
Steph's already got him a little basketball, and then he's smacking it all this. But honestly, it's been the most beautiful change that I've ever experienced in my life.
It's undeniable. It's an undeniable thing. You have to be different.
Have to be.
You have to be different.
Have to be, because there's this beautiful little.
Go without glasses.
Yeah, mine got how do you say?
Foggy.
Oh my God, I forgot how to speak on this thing. Yeah, I got a little foggy.
Yeah.
Hey, first date nervous, First date
man, I have that effect on people. It's all right. You're good.
I've seen. Yeah.
It's been a while.
But now I have something that is like out of my chest, damn near.
Yeah.
This thing is, it's like your own heart outside of you.
Yes.
It's
something bigger than you.
Something. Yes, and I struggled leading up to that.
Yep.
I knew it would change things.
Yeah.
I struggled for months, just dreading the change that was about to come. Not dreading. Sorry,
Not
it
sure.
was excitement,
in anticipation.
not knowing what to expect.
Nah. I don't think you can. Like, people say, when I'm ready. You're never ready. Because you can't. What can you be ready for? There's nothing. Like, it's just something you got to do.
Yeah.
You can't overthink it. It's not about books. Your child is entirely different to every other child that's ever been made. So you can never be ready.
And the thing is, even if you don't feel ready, once it happens, you're gonna. It's hard, but it's not hard.
No, it's just.
Does that make sense? It's hard.
No, it's hard. It's a lot involved.
It's a lot involved.
But it's like little steps, and you have to take the little steps.
Yeah.
Every minute of the day, you've got to do the little things that end up to the big things.
That end up being that. And I'm not. You're not constantly thinking about it. Before I had a kid, I'm like, hey, man, no sleep. How's that? Oh, man, you have all this responsibility. How is that? You're not thinking about that throughout the day, because you have to get some things done.
But when you're not sleeping, you're like, I'm tired, but I still got to work. I'm tired, I still got to get here. You can't just go, the baby was crying, I'm taking 3 weeks off. Yeah.
I got up this morning, usually while I was waking up. Usually, when I open my eyes a little early and look at the time, I'm like, okay, going back to sleep.
Yeah.
Let me get another 2 or 3 hours. I'm good. And I'm just like, my eyes, like, and he's looking at me, and he's crying and then smiling or whatever, and I know I have to prepare for his day,
his routine. Yep.
And you just do it just because you just do it.
There's no other choice.
There's no other choice.
Well, and there is, but that's what. If you're going to do a good job as a parent, there's no other choice, and I think that's really important. So you're choosing, how you interact and bring up your child, and it's all about choice. Like you're choosing to do these things, and it's nice to feel like it's not a choice, but that's because you've already decided and chosen
that I want to do this
the
way.
best possible way to bring your child up. And not everyone makes that choice, and they choose different things, and that's a choice too, and that's up to them.
Yeah, and that's fine too.
Yeah, you just got to do.
You could end up like LeBron.
Exactly. No, there's lots of different
good
ways.
or bad. Things happen.
You never know.
Anyone can make the choice, but I know it's just it's been beautiful.
It's a choice you gotta be happy with.
It's been beautiful.
That's so good.
You've met him,
Yeah. He's funny as he seemed disgusted in my presence. Just gave me
another white guy.
Who's this white guy? Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Why are you letting this white guy pick me up?
Well,
I can do this myself.
I had to say, get used to that, buddy.
Exactly.
You're gonna have to get used to that.
Just get over that real quick.
That is family. Get over that.
Yeah. Get over that real quick.
Oh man, so it's been awesome. Meeting. Yeah, it's been amazing.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. I think it's and as I said, like it's just a undeniable change, and you have to choose every step of the way. It's cool that you're ticking along. It's exciting.
Oh man, how have you been?
Good. I've been life's good. Like I think it's been such a long time. I guess my kids graduated last year. Malachi Taylor, and Rihanna's still at school, and that's all coming to an end really quickly. And it's back to the beginning. It's sort of trying to figure out what you want to do, and it's another phase. So whereas you're at a point where when you have a kid, you're figuring it out. It's all exciting, hard but exciting. I've got to change the nappy. I got to do this. Like it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
You're responding to a human.
Yeah.
Whereas when they get older, it's kind of the opposite. You don't really know what to do anymore because they're capable of doing things themselves.
Yeah.
And you want to be there to help them, but they also got to figure stuff out themselves, and then you got to start thinking about yourself again, which has been a long time. So what do I want to do? I got all this time to do
discovering yourself again.
Yeah, and what do you want to do? Like, who am I? What what's the world asking of me? What do I want to contribute in the last 40, 50 years of my life? Like anything, nothing. It's do I want to be deliberate? Because you've been guided. Like you're fine. Like you get guided by your kids and by what they need, and you can, if you stop for a second and you think about it, you can kind of see what's next. Like, they're gonna have to learn how to read. So okay, so we'll get them some books. You buy kids books and you read to them so that they learn how to read, and then you're like, they're gonna play in the NBA, so I get a basketball and I roll it out there, or they're gonna play football professionally. So we
gotta get them a soccer ball.
We play soccer, or like or even just I want to be active. Like just take them outside in the sun, take them on bushwalks. What lifestyle do you want to expose them to? And they got your genetics, so they'll be interested in the things you are generally. But it's all guided that way. And then when they start to do their own thing, and they don't need you anymore, now you're like, well, what do I want to? What do I want to do? Like you were
in control for 18 years or so. Right? You're in control of everything they do.
Yeah, just like and again, like process. Chose to do it in a way that wasn't controlling, but just providing what they needed when they need. I need a lift. I need this. I need that. Like, we chose to do that. Like it was like, okay, I'll make sure that, I want to go on this science excursion. Oh, here's the money. It's optional. It's, the option.
Science.
We'll take the option. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And that was cool, and we did that for a long time. And you work enough so that you can provide those opportunities. But then, as I said, like once they're at uni, they're doing their own thing, and there's less interaction because they're living their own lives.
Yeah.
And, less need to, like, you don't even know what they're doing, so you can't plan anything. And
Is
then
that hard? Is that hard of not having that control?
It's a huge shift, not knowing like what they're doing, what they need, like because you have to start looking at yourself. That's the hardest part, because you've just put yourself to the side, and then looking at yourself and saying, well, what do I enjoy just because I'm doing it? What is there for me to do? And it's a huge it's a huge shift. It's a huge question. Your brain doesn't work the same way as it did before kids, because you're now tuned to having kids and family. So you maybe haven't studied for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like really being able, but you haven't had time, because if you got into it, they'd cry or they'd need something. So it was always broken.
Yep.
Now, I might be able to go to the coast for like a week and have no distractions and not be needed.
Why the coast?
It's close. It's nice. I like the beach.
Yeah.
But like it's just like that, and so you go anywhere. Like you can just do stuff. It's weird.
The weird thing is, I've had moments where I ask myself that now still.
Yeah. Yep.
And there's a guilt that comes with it, because I'm like, man, am I being selfish for still asking, well, what can I get out of today for me? And then go, I've done it just I'll go for a run or shoot
play
a bit of basketball or whatever, and then and it's healthy. I need that. She needs that as well.
I think everyone needs that.
Everyone needs that, but it's not everything anymore.
Yeah,
which is it's
not,
weird.
Like you got to do it right, but it's a special treat. That's the difference. Before it wasn't a special treat.
Yeah,
it was just something you did all the time. Mm-hmm. Now you're like, hey, I need this. Whereas before you could get it any time. Mm-hmm. Now that's you are treating yourself, and as I said, like going back to not being a treat, going back to I can just I can just stay at work.
Yeah.
Don't people have cars? I don't need to pick anyone up.
Yeah.
Like, and that it's been a shift, and it's come suddenly. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of what I've been working through or thinking about, and just remembering who I am and who I want to be, and where.
Some people are good at sitting in those uncomfortable periods. That in between. High school kids are going through it, where they just finished now.
Yep.
They have the choice. I don't have to go to school. Or after university or after relationships. Some people are really comfortable in that and can sit back and have patience and just wait for things to come. I've always struggled with that part.
Yeah.
That stage when it's uncomfortable, I just go off the rails and just when I could just do whatever I want.
Let's do it.
Oh man, it's not good.
Well, it's not productive necessarily.
It's not productive.
It's literally just random, right? Like because I can do anything I want. I can do anything I want.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and then because what do you do? What do you do?
Overindulgent. I'll just overindulge.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what do you do when you can do anything? I just do whatever I want then. And it's like, well, is that just because you can do whatever you want doesn't mean you need to do whatever you want. Like, doesn't mean you do nothing either or operate on guilt, but, it comes down to who you want to be. So, I guess, but I guess that's human nature. Some people do that. And
some people, can.
They wait.
Can just wait and have some patience with.
But again, it's the same. It's responding to the same feeling of not knowing, what's next, or, not really knowing what I should be doing or how I should be acting.
You read. I know you read.
Yeah.
Do you you've been reading much at all in this period, or looking at all?
Yeah, reading heaps. Just because I think reading heaps, and I think you re-imprint your brain. That's what I found. So I hadn't read a lot, didn't have a lot of time, hadn't really read or listened to audiobooks, hadn't really had time. And I just started doing that. Like just started listening to audiobooks on drives, and, even if it's the same book over and over again. And it just I reckon it reprograms your brain. Hearing those words and just reading things and going, oh, I haven't thought about that for ages. And my brain had a lot of resistance. Oh, you've read this book before.
Yeah.
You know this stuff.
Yeah.
Why are you doing it? Like a lot of resistance.
Yeah.
And then I went, no, I'm not doing it to learn something new. I'm doing it to refamiliarize my way of thinking. Mm-hmm. Because books are awesome in the sense that they can get you to think differently about anything.
About anything.
Because it's somebody else's thought processes.
That's the coolest thing. It's somebody else's experience.
Yeah.
So like I've recently, I could really dive into someone's autobiography.
Yeah.
Or they've written about them. I can really dive into it because, like in anything, we look for ourselves in it.
Yeah.
So I've had moments where, like reading the other day, I'm in complete silence after the baby.
Yeah.
We went to sleep.
Where were you? Toilet. He was sitting on the toilet. He was sitting there like every father. Just like, I'll be out in a second.
Yeah,
like 45 minutes later, the only chance you get.
45.
Because you know mothers are different. Like when they go to the toilet, the kids like knocking on the
Yeah,
door
kids.
and where are you? And every mother knows what I'm talking about.
So I'm reading, but I'm like, it got to a weird moment where I'm like, every word was like, am I reading this or am I saying this to myself, or I'm reading about myself?
Yeah.
It's like it seems like it's my words, but it's someone else's
Yes.
experience.
Yep.
And this is someone, I've got amazing bookstore found in Victoria, had a bunch of old books.
What's it called? Let me write it down. Do you know it or not?
This book? Yeah, I'm sure you. It's called The Pilgrim's Progress.
The Pilgrim.
Pilgrim's Progress.
Yep.
It's a super cool book written by this guy who's a pastor. So a few months ago, I had found it in my phone and started to read it. I was reading it the night Isaiah was being born.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this book is awesome. Like, and then I went and found the real thing just this past weekend, and the book was it's super old. Actually, I was gonna send you a picture. It was like 1850 something. And the start was a little biography on the guy who wrote it. And he ended up being a pastor or whatever, but like, while reading it, it led me. I'll see a term that I don't know. I'll go look it up. I'll see something that he referenced. I'll go look at it. And it's just like it's a Bible Christian book, so you're referring to the Bible, whatever. But you just refer to other things. So last night, Martin Luther.
Yeah.
Didn't know this was a guy.
Yeah.
I thought it was Martin Luther King. He mentions Martin Luther in the book. I'm like, this is 1850 something. What do you mean, Martin Luther?
Yeah. Who's he referring
Who
to?
the hell is he referring to? I go look up who Martin Luther is.
Yeah.
Someone who's written a bunch of books.
The Reformation, isn't it?
Yep. Just trying to reform the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
And he's saying truths about the Catholic Church and things we've talked about before, whatever. But I'm like, this guy wrote this when?
Yeah.
And it's the same.
It's the same.
Same kind of thing still. And
Yeah.
prosecuted for
Yeah.
things
Yep.
and blah, blah,
Yep.
blah. I'm like, okay. I found that I really enjoy reading other people's experiences because I can find myself in there, some guidance in there or not.
And well, as you said, like I think what's really fascinating is when you read something that happened in the 1800s and you can kind of see the similarities now.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay. And then you sort of can predict the future because how come history keeps repeating?
Why does it keep repeating?
Why does it keep repeating? And that is such a fascinating thing. Like, how far do we really move? You know, we think we move. We got technology, we got this, we got that. There's always but have we really moved?
Have we really moved?
Have humans really moved at all? Or are we just doing the same thing with different hats? Right.
And those sayings, you hear them growing up, nothing new happens under the sun. And you're like, blah, blah, you old fart. So you relax. Okay, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, this is totally new. Like,
it's totally new.
Don't you know?
It's like,
changing the
get to
world.
the mid-range. That's where, you get on. Get out of here, man. Old school basketball. Get out of here.
I'm just going to shoot the three.
And now the top scorers are all operate in the mid-range. But Analytics, I said, we got to get threes up or get all the way to the rim.
Yeah.
And it's the hot thing at the time now.
And they'll go and everyone says, oh, everything's cyclical. It'll come back into fat. Like clothing, like you wear certain things, and if you own it long enough, then it comes back into fashion.
Yep.
And you only know that when you see it happen. And as you said, like you read books and you're like, okay, hang on a second, what was that about? Oh, that was about this. And then
When
Yeah.
you've lived a long time.
What's that?
When you've lived long.
Well, you've read enough books.
Oh,
You know, like when you've lived enough, you see it. But then if not, you read the books and you see the history repeating
you see
itself.
it,
And
yeah.
people don't, a lot of people don't read history or you know, study it or whatever. And they don't see things coming. And it comes. And then, again, it's just empires rise, empires fall. You know, people get persecuted for saying certain things.
That's still happening. That's always been happening.
It's always been happening. Yeah.
So I tell the truth, but we gotta stop telling. We gotta stop telling the. So we gotta just lie. We can't tell the
That's it,
truth.
that's
They're
it.
gonna they persecute all the people who try to.
Eventually.
Come on, man.
Eventually, they're going to come for you.
We gotta stop gathering people.
They're
in.
going to realize who you are.
That's not me. Hey, this is my mentor.
Bior.
He told me all this.
Atem, Bior, they're going to realize who that guy is.
No,
You heard the
don't-
name here first.
Don't know.
Google's
any-
listening.
I have no clue.
Google is
I
listening.
don't know anything.
Well-
We have a new pope, and I am
What?
in full support of this new beginning.
New Pope.
Yeah, we do. Have you heard that?
He's an American guy.
He's an American guy. First time.
Went to college, I think.
No way. Where'd he go? New Mexico Highlands? What do we?
Yeah.
I might have known the guy.
Nah, I can't remember. I think he like played, I don't know, some sports or he's a sports guy.
Oh, the frat boy.
Yeah, something like
Frat
that.
guy.
I don't
Changed
know.
his
I
life.
didn't look any more into it. I was like, all right. But, you know, again, I'm first American, you know, Pope.
That's
which will be-
interesting.
It's pretty interesting how the world changes.
You know, they have a massive meeting before they choose.
How do they choose it?
There's some word for it. There's something.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called. Some big meeting.
Yeah,
Where all the popes
and they all get together,
They all
and
get
then
together.
when they make a decision, they like certain smoke comes out of the
Yeah,
the roof
I
of the
just heard
Vatican.
I didn't see it, but I heard this morning that's
Yeah,
the
and then
thing. That's
they,
awesome.
They announce it, but just on what you're saying before, it's really interesting about how things repeat and how far do we move, and so you know, on this little bit of a reflective journey, I had to start looking at, you know, old emails. That's interesting. You know, get into your old emails and see how far back you can go. And then what were you saying back then? Who were you talking to? What were they saying to you? And it was really interesting because, you know, I haven't come that far. You know, like I realized, like regardless of the things I've done, the things I've learned,
Yeah.
you know, the things I've achieved, we've achieved, it's all pretty much the same me. Like I haven't come that far. It's really interesting.
You saying you still sound the same?
Still look the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was that's what I was getting to. But no,
Yeah.
it's more like so like even back in like when we started, I found the original proposal in 2010 for St. James. You know, and
Wow.
that was pretty interesting. Like I'll bring up some of the things we wanted to do. So Andrew Ebrington, you know, myself obviously got together and we wrote down some ideas about what we wanted to achieve. You know, at the time we said it was multi-sport. So
No way.
yeah. So what we wanted, so it's you know, to create a pathway for people who are marginalised through sport development, positive educational outcomes, you know, and using sporting development to increase the standard of excellence. You know, pretty
Yeah, that's pretty
standard.
simple. Yeah.
And then, you know, emphasis on support to students from years 8 to 12 with peer support training, mentoring skills, healthy living, leadership, teamwork. Benefits to community, increase the enrollments at St. James College, strengthen engagement with school and improved attitudes to schooling, increase retention of year 12 and vocational equivalent, greater parental community involvement, you know, publication of success in, you know, EREA and, you know, newsletters and stuff. You know, you look at that stuff. Yeah, it's like
Accomplish all of that.
what's that?
Accomplish all of it.
Yeah. Ticked all those boxes. You know, it was pretty cool.
And hasn't changed much.
Hasn't changed much. Like it's still the same. You know, it's the same. It's just a really interesting. You know,
Hey, why do white people not have that same expectation of making it through sport? Or like,
what do you mean?
I
And
noticed,
it's meant
like-
to be AFL basketball and track and field. That was
AFL
our
basketball and track and field.
that was our foundation. AFL basketball and track and field.
Those are big goals. Those are massive goals. And we dabbled into all of them. There was the athletics program.
We need to get to AFL. That's where the money is.
That really is. I watched a lot of AFL when we were in Melbourne, man. It was it actually looks really fun.
You would have been good at it.
Oh, it looks fun, man. I would have been good at hugging people, and
You would have been elbowing
I
them.
probably would have loved it, honestly.
You would have.
And the kicking aspect, I was watching like this looks super fun.
It's the future.
Wow, so yeah, it hasn't changed much.
Yeah, so it hadn't moved that far. Like
Do you like that? What's the feeling with it?
At the time, it felt like it had moved. You know, like you think about what we've achieved and what we've done. We've achieved a lot. We've ticked a lot of boxes, but it hasn't moved that far. And it was like, okay, so, you know, if you're going to move something, like starting it was hard. That involved a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And then maintaining it was kind of cool. But, you know, it's like, well, what's the next move? What's the next reinvention? Like, how can we shift it, you know, a lot? Like, you know, to reinvigorate it almost.
Well, the publication of the works did that through one medium. I still think when we're working on it, just doing it differently and
we should, you
on
know,
a
we should
wider scale.
write a book.
To actually write,
Just AI, we'll just write a
we
book.
should definitely write a book.
Year to year.
End of year.
Like just summaries, like 2013, 2011,
summary,
2014. And just go through it.
That would be pretty.
And then you could actually get like the people involved that actually say some of the behind the scenes stuff.
Of how things
Like
went
little
down.
behind the scenes stories.
That would be great. Remember, yeah, that would be amazing.
People probably like it.
Should do that. We built a cool community where it's just, we were talking about the other day, where anyone could come back at any time. And still feel a part of it, you know, still feel a part of something.
Yeah, it's cool.
Because, everyone sees now, once you leave school or whatever, it's hard to find communities you could be a part of.
Yeah.
Like, that's almost, that's a crisis.
Yeah. We don't really have those as readily available. And like, you know, sporting teams lay to do that. You know, I play with this guy then or whatever, or, you know, maybe university cohorts. You know, if you went to uni, then you might know some of your friends from uni.
Yeah.
Work cohorts get smaller.
Yeah.
But the way people operate at the moment, where there are jobs for less periods of time, you know, like relationships are less, you know, long term. They kind of come and go. And that's just not like personal relationships. That's like, you know, friendship groups or whatever. Like, you know, people just transient, they move. And it feels, I don't know, like I think it's interesting because it feels like everything's different. We keep saying, oh, you know, back in the day. But maybe it was always like that. You know, maybe back in the day it was, you know, you had less technology, but, you know, it was
Same things still happening.
Yeah, like just slightly differently.
But that's hearing people's emotions through the biographies from way back.
Yeah.
The emotions and how they feel about things has never really changed.
So human emotion hasn't changed.
Hasn't changed much at all. We're all still experiencing the same things with whatever we have.
Yeah.
The world's in the best health-wise and you know, technology-wise.
We're living the longest we've ever lived. Our medical technology is the greatest.
But we still, there's that comparison to other people thing.
Yeah.
The envy of other people who have better things.
It's never enough. It's still never enough. Like,
still around?
You know, people talk about, you know, vaccines and all that stuff. And it's because we don't have things like polio. You know, where polio is wiping people out and putting them in iron lungs and, you know, no cure. You know, if there was polio around, you know, then people, maybe we should take vaccines. Yeah. Why? Because if you get this, it's devastating. You're done. Yeah. Like, and your kids get it. Yeah. Like, you know, it happens every summer or whatever. Like, it's pretty serious. But we don't have those things to remind us that there's a reason that, you know, when this guy came up with the vaccine, like, it's gone. But what else is going to come around where it reminds us that, you know, we're pretty lucky. It's a bit of a golden age. Our biggest issues are things that we're creating. You know, like the financial crisis. Well, it's because everyone's trying to get rich and the billionaires trying to get richer. You know, we have food for the entire world if we wanted to share it. You know, we're still fighting over land that there's enough land for everyone to live on, but we're fighting over that piece of land.
Yeah,
because that's the land that I want.
Yep.
You know, people still doing stupid stuff, really. Like,
Well, that's why it's funny seeing those cycles. You look at what's going on. It's like, it's just stupid, dude. But
it's always happened. And then people go, but it's always been like that. It's like, yeah, that's the point. How have we evolved if it's always been like that? And can humans evolve with, you know, and just give up on these things, you know, that lead to cyclical, I guess, outcomes? You know?
Yeah. And I've thought, you know, when you're young, you have a lot of energy.
Yes.
And so you believe you can
change the world. Always. And you're going to be the difference.
And you're going to be the one to do it.
You're going to be the difference. Always. Always going to be the difference.
And when do you see, like, okay, well, this thing's been happening forever. What are the chances I'm the one to change it? Or maybe I don't want to even, I can only change me. That's it.
That's it. But
that is it.
But if you change you, this, and that's the coolest thing. Like, if you change you, and I really like this idea. Like, what is the one thing that you can do that no one else can do that probably won't get done unless you choose to do it? Because, like, we're never going to be replicated. Yeah. Like as we are, this is it.
This one time.
Yeah. So, and you know, your brain's like, oh, anyone can do what I do. Yeah, they could, but they're not. The fact that you're actually thinking about that makes you different to start with. What's the thing that you could do? Because that's your interest. That's what you're thinking about. And you have, because you're thinking about that, because you're identifying that, that's your role. And if you don't do it in the spectrum of the universe, it will never get done.
It won't
in that way. So what is it that you could do that it's not going to get done unless you
do it?
Unless you do it.
Well, that's comforting to be like, well, it's like you say, it's coming to you for it's coming to me for a reason. Maybe I should just stop fighting it and
then do it.
And just do it and have full belief in it that I'm the right person for this.
You're the only person to do it.
Because I'm thinking, if I don't do it, like you say, it won't get done.
No one else is going to do it.
There's a bunch of things I want to do.
Yeah, but you start with one.
I could do this. I could do this.
Yeah.
But unless you actually walk to go do it, it doesn't get done.
But it doesn't get done. But that's the skill, is being able to, like, you could have 10 good ideas. The skill is actually learning to choose one of those ideas and get that done first.
Yeah.
Write down the other ones maybe, but if you got 100 good ideas and you do none of them, then none of those got done. Whereas the skill is in learning or making yourself do the one idea that you're most sure about. And then if it doesn't work out, then get rid of it. You tried. What's the next one?
Yeah.
So,
everyone has ideas and everyone sits on them.
Everyone.
The majority of people just sit on ideas.
Yep.
I've done it heaps of times.
Yep.
But I didn't know that it's a small percentage that go after those ideas, regardless of
they commit
of the unknown, whatever it is,
100%, and that's the difference. Do you go after it? Will you pursue it? Like the lessons you learn in going after something, creating something, figuring something out. The journey along the way.
It all adds up.
Well, in the end, nothing's going to change, but what a hell of a ride.
Yeah. Yeah. So how do you, as you get less energy, you just have to be more deliberate with what you choose? Because as you get, I didn't believe this would happen, but as you get older, you just have less energy. You just have less energy,
Yeah, it takes more effort to do things because you have less energy.
Yeah.
So you've just got to. So when you find things that give you energy, you should follow it.
Just stick with them.
Yeah, because for whatever reason, that gives me energy. I'm going to go do this thing. When you have less energy, it's laborious, it's tiresome. you know, you can do it still, but it's just not.
I think one thing that's been cool, I'm starting to understand that, you know when they say when an elder dies, you lose a library or something, right? It's so true. As you get older, if you are trying to get smarter or whatever, or you just have all this information or things that you could. And so I'm like,
lived.
dog, like, we should value the elders in.
That's where it used to be.
In the community. Bro, I met this 77-year-old guy. I'm just walking around, met him, and had an awesome chat.
Yep.
And he changed the way I think about things. Tells me about some things I never knew.
Yep.
And I was like, what the heck? This is random. And if I wasn't open to having the conversation with him, it wouldn't have happened.
Never hear that information.
Never hear that information. And it's like, I want to be sharp still at that age, to still be able to speak and just be healthy and just,
people, And people stop. People give up.
You
people stop walking downstairs. Oh, we live in a 2-story house.
What if I fall?
Yeah,
is that what you mean?
What if I fall? Like, I'm going to get a house with no stairs. It's going to be flat, right? Instead of going, okay, I'm going to fight this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm going to, do some exercise every day to make sure my legs are strong enough. So when I step down the stairs, I'm good. I'm going to get good at walking downstairs, or I'm going to keep doing gardening so my legs are still strong.
Yeah.
And doctors are like, oh, look, you're getting tired, you're getting old, stop walking, stop. As soon as you stop, your body dies.
That's when you die, yeah.
And so, like, life wasn't about or isn't about doing nothing. Life's about...
Like saving something.
There's nothing to save.
What are you saving?
Like, you're going to die anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Again, another good saying is like, the king on the chessboard, the king and the pawn go home in the same box.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's a good saying. I know you love chess.
That is hilarious. They do.
I know you love chess.
Yes.
But whatever life you live, like you're the king. That's your life. You're the king of your life, or queen, or whatever, and live it the way you want to live it. I don't see any point in being angry at other people, or holding grudges or whatever, and investing in other people in that way. And that's what I choose to do.
Or investing in their circumstances.
In their circumstances where I got no control over it, and they don't want me involved in it.
Yeah.
I'm just sticking my nose in to distract myself from myself.
Yep. Yeah, that's what it is.
Why don't I just focus on me and really engage in my life and enjoy that? Because you only get one, and it goes real quick.
People don't like that sometimes when they see you in your
lane.
You're doing your thing. They
don't like it. They don't like it at all. Like, because again, like, it goes one of two ways. It either liberates them because they're inspired. They're like, damn, like, that person's just doing their own thing. Like, I could do my own thing. Or because they're not doing their own thing, they get resentful.
Screw F them.
And they're really hateful. They get angry by it. Like, they're arrogant, they're this, that, they're just doing their own thing. They're, they think they're better than us. Because, the crowd's doing the crowd stuff. That person's doing their own thing. They seem happy.
Yeah.
We want to be miserable and together rather than
Yep.
individual and happy.
Yep.
Can I really go?
They say that when you go to a new workplace and you work harder than the other, they start to resent that. So why is this guy working so hard? Well, he's trying to get a raise. You know?
You must have ulterior
motives. You must be trying to climb up there. You might want to be better.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's why you got to, I mean, we talk about it all the time. You got to surround yourself with people who think the same way as you in that way. Because if you surround yourself with people who are highly ambitious and want to work hard, and that's who you are, then that just keeps going. Because that's just how we do it around here. Whereas if you hang out with people who don't, well, you either have to lower your standards or leave. Because otherwise the conflict will be too much. And, we've always had those conversations because you can create that room. The room you want to be in, like anytime. But you either got to be in there by yourself and then be selective about who you invite into that room.
I stole that saying, by the way. I'm running with it. Create the room you want to be in.
Yes.
I said that.
You did say that. That's where I got it from.
Exactly.
I got it from you. That's what I said. Like, that was
the greatest artist. What is it? Good artist emulate. What is it? Good artist copy.
I don't know.
Great artist steal.
I don't know, Kanye. You tell me.
Great artist steal. Great artist steal. So we're just gonna
no, but it made
that.
sense, and you know when you came up with it, I really liked it.
Yeah, thank you.
You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Like create the room you want to be in.
Yes,
I thought that was cool.
it makes sense.
But then you got to be careful who you invite in, and if you invite in the wrong person, you got to make sure you usher them out quickly, politely. But hey, look, sorry,
Politely. Hey,
that's not.
I don't want that here.
Yeah, that's not.
Go do your own thing over there.
Yeah, that's not what we do here. Like, and it's literally like that. Like, I used to think that was cruel, mean, all those things. But if you don't do it, then because that person's just being authentically them, which it might be, a lower expectation, might be disruptive, might be whatever, but they're uncomfortable because you've invited them in a room that they know they don't belong in. So they're trying to make themselves comfortable in your room. Therefore, unless they're like inspired and they go, okay, this is awesome, I'm going to lift. They're like, okay, I've got to change the room so I don't feel uncomfortable. And it's not going to work. Well, one of you is going to suffer. And I think that you either got to lower your standards or they've got to move out.
Or move out.
And we got to be more selective, I think, sometimes.
It's been cool now reliving, watching a child grow up or just being involved in starting to see how, like for babies, when we're trying to get them to learn, we use music, rhythm, colors, just all these different techniques, energy. And funny thing is now, as adults, it's happening to us. Like a jingle in a song, in an ad or whatever.
The ice cream truck.
In the ice cream
truck's
you hear
coming
that
down.
and you get those endorphins or whatever, and
Get
it's
excited.
coming, or even music. Like music is pretty crazy.
Yeah,
music is
it's the same thing.
Music's pretty insane.
It changes your mood.
It's changing.
Same as books.
Same as books.
You know what I mean? Like you think about your music, you think about your books, you think about your art. You think about all these like creative things. It can change the way you see the world, how you interact, how you see yourself. Opens up your mind to new dimensions.
And I think, but the coolest thing though, like you can be a creator, and you could you could participate in that
creation
thing, that field.
Well, you are participating in it.
We are participating,
but you got to be conscious of it.
Yeah.
You either feel like you're being affected, or you actually deliberately bring things in and interact in that way. So, I can sit here, someone could sit here with us having these conversations and just switch off and go, okay, whatever. Or they can be like, all right, I want to engage. I want to, be part of the creation, the participation. It's a conscious choice. You consciously choose how you respond. You consciously choose, you don't have to. Most people don't. They just respond how they respond. But you can consciously choose people's energy, like that you take or reject or whatever. Someone comes at you angry and you can laugh at them, and they're like, why are you laughing? And say, because this is ridiculous. You know what I mean? Or you can get angry and try and stand over them, or they can wrong you and you can be like, I'm not going to give that feeling that they wronged me a second. Why? Because that's going to take me weeks, months, years to get over.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put down a little ball, throw it away, and then start focusing on me again and getting back into my room. And people do that all the time. They try and pull you into their drama, their little worlds, and you don't have to. You don't have to. And you can.
Well, what if you have what if you're intertwined in a way?
Yeah. 100%. But
Yeah, history.
okay, you have history.
You have history. You have years of history.
You can still choose at any moment how you interpret that history.
Remember that thing I did for you?
Yep.
How could you not want to hear my problem here?
Yeah. Say,
I did that thing for you.
No, that's what people do. But see, the thing is that you think that's about you. Remember that thing that I did for you. Why can't you hear my? I think it's about me.
Yeah.
I'm like this because it is about me. But I think it's your response is about me. I don't know that someone just passed away in your family.
Yeah.
I don't know that you just lost your job. I don't know that you're and you don't have space and time to deal with my issue. But I'm like, how dare you, like treat me like this? We're friends.
Yeah.
The truth is that
You don't know what.
I don't know anything about what happened to this point, right? So if we say, okay, let's assume that all these really bad. If you came to me and said, yeah, look, I'm really sorry. Someone died. You know what I mean? Like I'm sorry. I just can't deal with it. Then do I go, well, screw you? You know what I mean? Like I don't care that person who you grew up with died. Like you should be paying attention to me. Now, like in society's eyes, who's the bad guy?
Yeah.
I'm the bad guy. Whereas if you're just like, so again, it's all perspective, and it's all like usually it's reflective of us. The other cool thing, 'cause I've been doing some reading, is that we create our own perspectives. So the way that I think your being is reflective of how I expect you to be. So I'm anticipating and predicting our relationship. When you don't meet that, then I have emotions attached to that expectation.
Yeah.
So I'm creating my own reality as I go along.
Yeah.
And you're creating your reality as you go along.
Which is cool.
It's great if you understand that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
But if I assume that we're in the same reality,
Yeah.
and I can't get over that, then I've got to come up with another explanation as to why you're not doing whatever it is.
Yep.
Whereas if I sit here and go, all right, like something's up, I don't know what it is, and I can't live with that feeling that something's up, and I'm like, well, he doesn't like me anymore. You know what I mean? Like he's plotting against me.
Yep.
This is happening.
Yeah.
Whereas if I'm just like, okay, well, he doesn't have time to catch up. That's cool.
Yeah.
We'll catch up when it's time to catch up. I'm gonna go do my life.
Yep.
Then that why? Or I might check in later and see if everything's all good. And if it is or isn't, doesn't matter. I've created a different reality based upon the information that my brain's collected. It goes further because not only are you creating or you're playing a deliberate part in the reality you're creating, your brain is constantly looking for the same pieces of information that it has found previously. It's not looking for new information, right? Like there's, let's say your brain can pick up, because it's got a certain capacity. Your eyes see everything that's going on. Like it just sees it. Your brain can only comprehend and process a small percentage of that. Right? Like, so let's say there's 30 billion pieces of information and your brain can only pick up 7 million pieces. It doesn't like if it's not seeing the other 23 whatever billion pieces, it's not going to see them magically. It's going to look for the same 7 million it saw just before and just before and just before. So you're constantly looking for the same piece of information in your environment over and over and over again, even though in this environment we have right now, there's other stuff going on.
So if a shadow just ran through here right now,
and you don't even see it.
we don't even.
Because I'm not looking for it.
You're not even looking.
And then someone else sitting over there, and they're like, "Yeah, see those two ghosts over there?
See that shadow there?
They're like, see those two ghosts over there? They're these people. You know what I mean? And you sit here, and they for whatever reason, their brain sees that, right? And it's always been there, but my brain doesn't see it. You can feel it sometimes. You know what I mean? You can like you feel that little strange tingle. You're like something's up, but you don't see it because your brain's not looking for it, but it's there. That is. And then you look at like the spectrums of light that we can see, the sound waves we can hear. There is a whole bunch of stuff going on in this universe that our bodies can't pick up and our brains aren't looking for.
Yeah.
So not only do we make our own reality, we repeat our own reality every second. So if we want to see something new, you got to read a book. You got to see a perspective from someone else. You got to challenge what you're doing until your brain starts looking for different things. And that's when, I guess real change gets affected. But, it's your body and your brain is highly resistant to that.
But when you know that and start to notice that, it's strange.
And
you're watching yourself react to something in a certain way.
Yep.
But unfortunately, you'll disagree with this.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't change it.
Well, I was going to say you have predispositions.
You know it's happening.
Yep.
I know I'm reacting to this in a certain way. Why is my ego so big that I know I'm reacting this in this way because of this past experience. I know this past experience is making me react this way.
Not only that.
Why can't I change
but
it?
Not
It hurts me to even change it.
not only past experiences, but past ancestors.
That's another level.
And the way that they've responded to certain things.
Yeah.
So when you start to get small tribal villages, when you start to get, like really like long lineages, Sudan's a great example, Africa where you got this, and they know that guy's a killer. You know what I mean? Like he's got a temper and his kids got tempers and their brothers got tempers. They all got tempers and that's how they all know that, and you see it in movies now, like, that they're healers. You know what I mean? You think, okay, that's you're born into a healing family. You're born into your warriors. Like, you think
even if one was born, ended up somewhere else, they end up feeling this thing and see them and no.
I'm not home, and then they come home and they're like, oh, we're all peaceful people, we're all killers, or we're all thinkers, right? And throughout history, that those groups of people and their relatives and lineage have all generated the same kind of results.
Yep.
So again, it's exactly the same thing. And as you said, like sometimes you can't help yourself, and you literally can't because you've got this, deep historical, I guess almost, DNA embedded predisposition to look and interact with the society this way.
In this way, yeah.
And that that's now unhelpful. Because, like back in the day when you were a warrior, they used to help your village. We'll go fight. You go, you look after these people. You're leaders. You make decisions. I don't make decisions. I just kill people. But that had a role. As society evolves and those roles are removed and they've got to evolve, but the people don't evolve. The people, those senses don't necessarily evolve.
They just have to operate in a different space.
They have to find a way to be socially acceptable because, you can't just... You're not defending a village anymore and killing people and not feeling anything. You're not being celebrated for murdering people or, or even, in some places, thinking for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're not celebrated, you're persecuted for thinking for yourself. Like, or whatever it is, or not thinking for yourself. Like, be a follower. Jesters, funny people, we're talking about that. Funny people are funny. They're a different breed. They somehow tap into something that make us laugh, and they're funny. And if they don't have a role, they could be put into a mental asylum because, you're just a little bit quirky. Or back in the day, it could be celebrated.
Or you're celebrated and allowed to say certain things because you're just
you're the joker. You're the jester.
The joker, yes. And we can receive you. Only this king can you receive you in that way they wouldn't receive from...
Because that's your role.
That's your role.
Whereas if one of their governors, who's a leader, made fun of them, they'd have to kill them.
We don't want to play that role anymore. What if
jester role?
Whatever role.
No,
What if that justice like, man, I don't want to...
Everyone... yeah.
You're done.
A lot of people are told, like how they feel is wrong. How they interact is wrong. And that's not what we do. We do it like this. Whereas, is it just finding... new ways to express ourselves in those roles. But it's a lot harder now because, if you don't know your people, you feel lost. You know what I mean? Like, and being, I guess, pack kind of animals, people who like to hang together and look around and we sort of all get each other. Like that's all dispersed. And I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying it's different. So people feel lost. They don't find their people very often. And when they do, they're so happy. But before that, they feel lost, they feel depressed, anxiety, and it should be easier with the internet, but it's probably harder because...
Yeah, you're not connected.
You're not really connecting.
Yeah, see something through the screen all you want. It's not the same as the real thing.
No, ever.
Not the same.
It's just, you're not connected. It's not the same energy. You don't have to work through anything. You don't have to make choices. Yeah, so,
I like the stories of those people. Sorry, just to go back. I'm learning a lot of new figures who were persecuted for their beliefs. It's incredible. It's insane. Of hearing the side that supports them and the sides that persecuted them.
Is opposite, yeah.
It's just it's insane to me.
Yeah, and it's always been that way. You know, you persecute something that's new and different and challenging what everyone's used to, and you support the things that you're used to and comfortable with, and usually, you know, push your own interest.
How can you do that without them even knowing?
Nice. Look at you. So, how do we get people to support us without even knowing they're supporting us?
Knowing that they're. Man,
well, I think
psychology,
people stumble upon it. You know, like Zuckerberg with Facebook. There was a need out there, and he stumbled upon this thing. How do we keep connected? People don't feel connected, and then he's created this monster,
this mission of connecting the world.
Whereas that's it. Once he tried to do it, you know, people are less connected now, even though they have more connections. You know, because the
arrogance.
The desire was there, but he missed the mark. Like real connection just takes time. It takes space. It takes you know, moments. You gotta sacrifice your time and energy and let someone else into your world to connect. And that takes moments. That takes time. That takes like kindness, love, whatever you want to call it, to actually stop and go. You know, you don't have to say anything. You're just letting people into your world. And what we're really good at now is not doing that. Like just shutting off all of that, so you actually don't connect. And you know, we feel safe about it, but we beat ourselves up about it, which is ridiculous. Jump on the internet, you know, someone didn't like my thing, take down the post, you know, like, oh, they don't like me. You don't even know them. You know, someone, you know, troll, like the trolls, like, but even the bots just pretend to be trolls.
Comment, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this is
saying
bots.
mean
like
things,
bots just saying mean things that we take personally. You don't know that person. You have no relationship to them.
Yeah.
They're a computer who's just an algorithm, and you're upset. Like,
it's strange. It's strange though. Why do we? Because you do feel. I've seen comments and I'll be like, why?
that bot got me.
Oh,
That bot.
Well, I assumed they were real, so that's first mistake. But
is
what
it just
they said,
if you flip it?
Well, it depends on the mood that
You
day.
flip it.
What do you mean flip it? Oh, just assume it's bot.
No. You flip it. You go, why am I upset? Why am I letting these words upset me? What is it about me that I'm questioning?
Yeah.
That these comment itself. What have I said to myself before that they've touched a sore point?
Yeah, it's a sore point usually. It's a sore point.
And you've said it to yourself so many times, and the bot just found it.
But when it's not a sore point, you just look and be like, man, I feel sorry for them. Damn, I hope they're okay. I truly, man, it's like, damn. The fact that you want to inflict that on someone else, I feel
What's
bad.
going on with you?
Yeah, it's like I hope you're okay. You know, that must suck too.
But because you don't take it personally, you actually look at it and go, wow, that's a lot of hurt in that comment.
Yeah,
hope you're okay.
Hope you're all right.
Because like it's so far from the truth. The ones that hurt the most are the ones that you've already tortured yourself over.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
But like, so it's good, like reading those things or doing those things and having people challenge you, if you actually go into that space with that intention, not being scared, knowing that you're trying to find things that hurt you, so that you can address who you are and therefore become more resilient. Realizing that everyone's just a bot. Everyone's a bot. Not just bots. Everybody's just a bot.
That's so red. Yeah, that's true.
You know
that is true. Everyone is a bot.
Everyone's a bot.
It's programmed in their own way to do their.
Yeah. Or everyone's an opportunity to learn about yourself.
That's a good point. Yes.
You know what I mean? So we're talking now, and I'm just learning about myself as I feel things.
Yep.
I'm like, ooh, what's that? What's that about?
And as I say it out,
as I say it out loud, and it's scary, and you know, like, why is it scary?
What was interesting? So I went ice skating with my nieces.
Yeah.
And is the thing still good? Battery?
Yeah, that's what I was checking. Just checking there. Mine's still on red.
And there's 6 of them.
Yeah.
And I'm watching all these because the first time they're doing this thing. That's ice skating. First time ever, the black.
Good. I'm glad you got them into, ice skating. That's
Other sports.
Oi, swimming's next. Like
Other
they were, surf life saving.
We're gonna go
surf
surf
life saving.
life-saving.
Oi, that's what you just get. Oi, I signed you all up. Surf life saving. Jump it.
life-saving.
6 of them. Jump in the van.
Who's this guy,
that is
bro?
gonna be
We wanna
awesome,
play.
bro. Can you imagine the response? Like,
Oh,
we'll
man.
do a documentary on that. Like
That is hilarious. What?
make sure you give them the heads up.
The
Hey,
cool thing is they had no. That's not even in their mind, so they
Nah,
didn't.
they're kids,
We're
yeah.
in a.
That's so nice.
We're in this white sport, but I'm seeing all of them respond to themselves in different ways. Respond to these challenges in different ways.
yeah, nice.
And I'm watching it unfold in real time,
Yep.
and it's hilarious. It's a movie. Because I know these processes. I've gone through these
Yep.
processes,
Yep.
so I have my ways of, hey, I went through it this way, so I can approach it this way. With you, I can approach it this way.
Yep.
And everyone's a little different, but seeing them, for example, have a success barrier.
Yeah.
We all have success barriers. I know I do too. As
Yeah.
well. But seeing, hey, they left the guardrail
Yeah.
and were completely
Free.
fine
Yeah.
in the center, and they're learning through it, but they're fine. They're good. They can do that now.
Yeah.
Oh, let me get back to that.
God, yeah.
Let me get back to the just for a little second.
Oh my goodness.
But the longer they stay on that guard,
Yeah.
the harder it is for them to go back out.
back out.
And I'm watching this stuff unfold like this is
Learning
hilarious.
theory, yeah, it's
you know,
amazing.
and hey, they're all different. So one did get over that fear and stayed outside, didn't touch it. I may have to just remind them once, hey, now you could push yourself in this other way. And that was cool for
Well,
seeing
yeah, I want
them.
to know the 6 ways because this is amazing. So yeah, one
The
kid.
six reactions.
The 6 different kids.
So one had done it before with me,
So they were comfortable.
and so they were comfortable, but I thought they would push themselves
Yeah.
to be off the guardrail because they
Early.
did it last time.
Yeah.
They didn't, unless I came in,
Yeah. Hey, you've done this before. Yeah.
encouraged them, and told them that. The other one, the oldest, who had never done this, she picked it up really easily. And it only took for me to convince her one time to get off, and we go together a little because I'm a professional.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You know,
I've been ice skating.
yeah, this is nothing. And she continued, and the other little ones were scared, and
Yeah,
and whatever. One of them, my niece, picked it up so easily, got really good at it real quick, and she's stumbling through it. But her age mate, her other niece who was the same age,
yeah.
had more fear and used this is little penguin you lean on.
Yeah.
So she ended up using it as well for the rest of the time, even though I'm like, yo,
She could do it herself.
She could do it herself. So there's all these dynamics
awesome.
happening. I'm just like, damn, this is amazing. But yeah, it's so interesting. And I was like trying to, you know what? All of them are fine, whatever way they do it. It's actually that doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna help them regardless.
It didn't matter. Yeah,
and
you're
meet
just,
them where they're at, and just seeing it unfold is
It's amazing, and I think that you saw that unfold, and you were meeting them where they were at, and you were open to whatever they needed to be able to guide them through it, and that's what real teaching is. You know what I mean? Like you get to know people, you know what their process is, you let them know their process, you let them go through it still.
Yep.
And you just design learning environments to help them through that at their pace.
Yep.
We usually just pick the kid that picks it up real quick and go, okay, you're different.
You're the one.
You're the one. You're going to make it.
Yeah.
It's not always like that.
Yeah.
Or, the kids who didn't, you never make it. Do something else. That's how society works. We grade them. We categorize them. We move on.
Yeah.
Whereas, that's why I wanted to hear the story because I'm like, that's actually really cool that, brand new thing. No one's ever done it before. Everyone's going to learn differently. I saw 6 different things. It's just phenomenal. Met them where they were at.
Yeah.
And we'll just keep doing it and just see how they end up.
Yeah.
And because of that, they'll love it.
They all left happy. We all left happy. We all left.
And they might go back again.
And then they might, yeah.
Now
yeah.
or another time.
Yeah.
But that's not how we work in society. We've got, there's timelines. You've got to tick these boxes by these ages. If you're slow, we'll tell you you're slow and then give you special help to force you to be faster. If you're fast, well, now we're going to give you extra because you're fast.
So
you know what I mean? So because we want to push you harder.
Yeah.
Like,
so you could do stuff for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Do
like
this research for us and cure cancer.
Yeah, we'll push you harder. And, yeah, exactly. Instead of just going, okay, so you're fast, so what do you want to do? Like, you know, instead of meeting them where they're at. Like, there's systems that, I guess, control all of those different learning styles, and people, and judge them is the hard thing, you know, and label them. And then that also shapes.
So that's called learning theory. That whole
I'm
thing
saying,
is
different learning
pretty
theories.
learning theories.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to just see it, you know, and
live it.
And try to live it, because, you know, I still want to continue being a student, and so I can, I guess, teach better as well. That's the only way I think I can know how to teach, just from being a student
Yep.
at one point and trying to continue being a student. That's the hard thing. How do you try to continue being open to being a student?
And not ever think that you know any answers.
Yeah.
Like, because you're learning through your interactions with those kids.
Yeah.
So you're like, damn, I do that. Why am I getting frustrated? Oh, because that's what I do.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
you remind yourself, and then you learn through
You adjust and you
learn
keep
through
going.
interactions.
It's a beautiful thing, man.
That's what parenthood is all about. If nothing else, just reflecting on how frail you are.
It's pretty trippy. Pretty trippy, man. It's pretty trippy. It's beautiful. It's just
Just wait till they start repeating your words back to you, and you click that that's what they're doing, and it's annoying you.
well,
and
that's
just,
you.
and they're saying exactly what you say, and it annoys you. And then initially you get angry, and then you're like, "Did you just say that?" And then you hear yourself say it. You're like, they literally aren't making this up. They're just copying me, and I sound like an idiot.
That's hilarious.
That is actually wild. And then what do you do then?
That's hilarious. I've seen like parents, like mother, daughter, or father, son, look at each other almost like not scared of each other, but like damn, we're the same person. It's like, and however that goes.
Yeah,
but it's just hilarious. We're the same.
Yeah, it's just you're repeating history over and over
It's
and over
hilarious,
again.
bro.
Nothing changes.
It's funny. It's cool.
Nothing changes. It's hilarious.
It's pretty amazing that
You went back to Martin Luther, and you're like, damn, some of that's happening now. Nothing changes.
nothing has changed. That's comforting and
so what are we doing? Why are we getting
uncomforting.
so caught up? Let's just how do you want to do this? It's pretty cool.
Last thing with Martin Luther,
Yeah.
in terms of being participants in history, which we are already,
Yeah, yeah.
and we are recording our history. How's he any better than any of us to share his experience?
Exactly.
Like all our experiences are valid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
all our
all
perspectives
contribute
all
to history.
Contribute. Some
one
may
way or
get
another.
famous,
Yep.
more famous than others. Some, but
It's
all necessary.
It's
It's
all
all-
it's all a
it's
contribution.
all necessary, you know.
100%.
We found the answer.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
guess.
purpose of life.
Yeah, I guess.
And we're done.
Yeah,
the
we're
search
done.
is over.
The search. Well, I'm going to continue to find dumb things to argue about,
I like it.
pointless things to argue
Yeah.
about. I found some cool threads of questions. I've discovered Reddit. I guess people ask questions
Okay.
on there.
Yeah.
I would like to bring in a few of them sometimes.
Let's do
Play
it.
out some of these
Yeah.
scenarios.
Get some people to send in some
and
questions.
get people to send in things as well.
What are we going to discuss?
Just roll on.
All right.
Surge's Podcast.
Search Podcast.
God
back.
bless.
We're back.
Peace. Have a good one.